In this life, we get nothing save by effort. It is hard to fail, but it is worse to never have tried to succeed. Nothing in this world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, difficulty. It is better to try great things, even at the risk of failure, than to know neither victory nor defeat. We of this generation do not have to face a task such as that as our fathers faced, but we have our tasks. And woe to us if we fail to perform them. No man is justified in doing evil on the ground of expediency. If we are to be a really great people, we must strive in good faith to play a great part in the world. I don't pity any man who does hard work worth doing. I admire him. I pity the creature who does not work, at whichever end of the social scale he may regard himself as being. Unless a man is master of his soul, all other kinds of mastery amount to little. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Keep your eyes on the stars, and your feet on the ground. People ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads, and the boss drives. The unforgivable crime is soft hitting. Do not hit at all if it can be avoided, but never hit softly. Great thoughts speak only to the thoughtful mind, but great actions speak to all mankind. Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing, the next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing. You often hear people speaking as if life was like striving upward toward a mountain peak. That is not so. Life is as if you were traveling a ridge crest. You have the gulf of inefficiency on one side and the gulf of wickedness on the other, and it helps not to have avoided one gulf if you fall into the other. Nobody cares how much you know, until they know how much you care. With self-discipline most anything is possible. To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. The only man who doesn't make mistakes is the man who never does anything. We must dare to be great, and we must realize that greatness is the fruit of toil and sacrifice and high courage. I have never in my life envied a human being who led an easy life. I am only an average man, but by George, I work harder at it than the average man. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. It is a bad thing for a nation to raise and to admire a false standard of success, and there can be no falser standard than that set by the deification of material well-being in and for itself. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering. I care not what others think of what I do, but I care very much about what I think of what I do. That is character. Get action. Seize the moment. Man was never intended to become an oyster. Character, in the long run, is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. The one thing I want to leave my children is an honorable name. No man should receive $1 unless that dollar has been fairly earned. It is true of the nation, as of the individual, that the greatest doer must also be a great dreamer. Some men can live up to their loftiest ideals without ever going higher than a basement. I wish to preach, not the doctrine of ignoble ease, but the doctrine of the strenuous life. Freedom from effort in the present merely means that there has been effort stored up in the past. The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good men to do what he wants done, and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. It is no use to preach to children if you do not act decently yourself. We want men who fix their eyes on the stars, but who will not forget that their feet must walk on the ground. We are the heirs of the ages. I have a perfect horror of words that are not backed up by deeds. Each one must do his part if we wish to show that the nation is worthy of its good fortune. This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in. In life, as in football, the principle to follow is to hit the line hard. It is only through labor and painful effort, by grim energy and resolute courage, that we move on to better things. 9/10 of wisdom is being wise in time.